You got this big, beautiful Black man who has a beautiful family, who he loves his family. He always puts his family first. So watching him throughout the years, learn, because he's already funny, but now he had to be a father for the first time. So it was a new territory for him. So he and I kind of were able to support each other because it was the first. I was playing the mom for the first time. He's playing dad for the first time. So we kind of experienced that together. With Martin, hilarious, comedically, his comedic brilliance just never stopped. Like, it's like, you gotta be on it. You move when he moves, so I learned so many wonderful I learned a lot of comedic timing dealing with Martin, and he was executive producer of the show as well. So he's helping write the scripts, he's helping with the content. So you have all these people, I've been able to watch them grow within their own positions, and it's just lovely to watch. I've learned a lot.
What about, reboot mania is everywhere these days, has there ever been talk of like rebooting Martin, and have you ever been approached?
Oh, there was a lot of talk about rebooting Martin. And I was honest a long time ago. I said, with Tommy no longer, being here, Martin will never be the same. We can't reboot it. Now, we could have a rebirth and maybe, you switch it up a little bit, but it'll never be the same. So we kind of let it died down because people were really anticipating for us to come back, and we tried to come back, but I don't think it's going to happen. Some things are better left alone. Just let it go. It ended it where it ended, and just let that rock. So we did do a reunion show, which was received very well, and hopefully that'll hold people off.
Sometimes it's like you don't want, lightning in a bottle only strikes once, right?
Yeah.
What if they were going to go the route of, just like recasting it, and like we don't have to worry about like who's in and who's out? Just like, is there an actress like, based on the time that you played Pam, is there like a actress in Hollywood that you could say, wow, I could see that as my, Pam 2.0?
I never thought about that. Like, I used to see memes, like they had Ashanti, I think, playing Pam. What is this? Another young lady. What is her name? Lord have mercy. Oh God, I can't remember her name. Oh, it come back to me. I can't remember her name. Lord have mercy. But I've seen people put themselves as Pam. Like, you have people that do these wish lists of who would play the roles and stuff. But I don't know. I never really thought about it. Because it's like, I don't think it's going to happen. So when us coming back and the talk of the reboot, when it was just not going to actualize, I kind of just stopped thinking about it. We did the reunion. I'm like, hopefully people can hold on to that. But I never really thought about anybody playing me.
A totally self-indulgent part of your career for me, was Daytime Divas. That was just, gone for me, but not forgotten.
I loved that Mo character. That show, Daytime Divas and Survivor's Remorse, were the two shows that I was very disappointed it ended. I was really disappointed. Like, not much disappoints me because I know, the nature of this industry, you're up one day, down the next. But, I thought both of those shows still had 1 or 2 more years left to them. I just really enjoyed those roles.
I just thought, and this wasn't, I agree with you. First of all, Vanessa Williams, like, hello. And
beautiful woman and a beautiful person. Vanessa Williams, beautiful person. I love working with her.
I just thought, and like, this is no shade to VH1. I just thought like it wasn't, like sometimes like, if it's like streaming, that's just the wrong network, or I just thought like that show just had so much potential as well. I figured like,
yeah, well, Star Jones, that was Star Jones, baby. And Star was like, girl, I got a role for you. And I was like, what? So that's how I got that role. So kudos to Star Jones for coming up with such a, great, a great show. But I loved playing ball, but one of those things, it ended.
It was great. It was fun. Do you have any like binge, like, do you binge TV shows? Like, are you a huge fan? Like, what do you binge? Like, do you have any guilty pleasures?
I used to binge True Blood. I binged Dexter. I used to love Dexter. I just have to state this for the record. I don't watch myself. So I don't think I've ever seen a full episode of myself in years. Like even being on The Neighborhood. I tell other people to watch it, but I just choose not to watch myself because I think I'll start censoring myself when it comes to my comedic timing and my comedic thoughts. I just don't want to do that. So I was like, don't watch yourself. But there's a show called Sandman on Netflix that they said is really good. I want to watch. I don't watch a whole lot of TV though. I don't want, and what I do is I stop, in order for me to read more books, I stop watching TV.
That's smart. I mean, well, I can't listen to myself on this podcast, so I totally understand not watching. I'm like everyone else. I think it's the same thing. I think it's like I would become too self-aware. I mean, like, of course, there's certain things I hear and like I have to listen to things and edit at times, but it's not my favorite thing to do to sit around and listen to myself on this podcast. So
what's your new favorite show?
I mean, I have to say, you mentioned Debbie Allen earlier. I'm one of those people who is still like Grey's Anatomy is still for me phenomenal. I still love it.
Stick with a show. You stick with a show. And that's what I told them The Neighborhood was going to be. When we first started, I said, you know what, The Neighborhood is going to be one of those shows where people, whoever likes it, they're going to stick with it and they're going to stay with it. And that means a lot. And, here we are 5 years later. So big shout out to all the Neighborhood fans. We love you. We love you. We love you. Thank you for the support.
It was, well, I mean, to me, it's like Cedric is great. I've watched you in all these shows. Two Broke Girls with Beth Behrs was great. New Girl with Max Greenfield. But like, this is a phenomenal cast. So, I mean, for anyone who is late to the game, like catch up because it's a great show.
Yeah.
I take it then based on the fact that you don't watch a lot of TV, you never got into like the reality TV, like Real Housewives, Kardashians. You never went down that road.
Could not like literally, I've never seen one full episode of any of the shows that you mentioned. So I'm just like, it's weird because I think when you're in the industry, because I had to think about it. I said, why don't I watch other people's work? Like, why don't I just, when you do it all day, when I leave the set, I go and I like, piddling around the house. I do paperwork. I play with my dog. I do things outside of the industry because I'm always in the industry. And I think it's, by being in the industry so long, you just entertain yourselves with other things.
That makes complete sense to me. If you could, as we wrap up, if you could work with anyone in the industry, like who would it be? Like you've acted along some of the greats, you're currently acting along some great talent, but just like who's someone you haven't worked with that you would just love to work with on a future project?
Don't think I'm a weirdo, but I really want to do anything with Anthony Hopkins. I know, but I just do.